Hi, I'm David Milne. I'm a resident at Menie near Balmedie in Aberdeenshire. That's just for those of you that don't know me. So what is all this about? This is about the planning application that goes in front of Aberdeenshire Council on Thursday the 26th of September 2019. So what? Full council sees quite a few planning applications. Well, this one is for 550 houses on the Menie estate, completely against the original planning application and permission that was issued by the Scottish Government back in 2008-2009. It has been recommended for approval by the planning officers, who claim that it is in accordance with the original phasing of the development. Now, this may be partially due to the application for the second golf course that they're due to approve sometime soon, completely ignoring that it's been lying on their books for almost 2 years now, with absolutely no action. In some people's eyes, this could be seen as collusion of the same sort that was seen before with the over-friendly relationship between the Trump organisation and Aberdeenshire Council employees. This has been dealt with previously. Now, if you go ahead and grant this 550 house application, that means that there will be over 1,000 cars a day passing through Balmedie village, which has just benefited from being bypassed by the AWPR. So a sudden heavy load on the village, on the drainage, on the schools, on the medical infrastructure, none of which has been provided for to date. So how are you going to justify that? Probably by claiming that the economic benefit outweighs the environmental loss. Exactly the same as was done right at the beginning and has been shown to be entirely wrong. There is no economic benefit from this development, and nor will there be from a further 550 houses. This is just development for development's sake. Industrial vandalism on an incredible scale.
This is Balmedie, the main road through the little village that has a sewage works at capacity, a primary school at capacity, and no medical provision. A village that is going to be expected to take on another 550 houses. And if you support and approve the 1,650 houses that are also recommended in the local development plan, that's another 3,500 cars a day passing over this road. So between them, you're looking at, what is that, 5,000 cars a day passing through this village, in addition to the several hundred already that slowly pass through. Will they all obey the 30-mile-an-hour limit? Well, that's a different argument. After all, if the applicant had paid for and approved the cost of a grade separated junction at the design of the AWPR, most of this argument wouldn't even exist anymore. But now you're going to approve it, which means the Scottish Government and the Scottish people will end up paying for this grade separated junction, or for the destruction of a small village in Aberdeenshire, which you will be remembered for as councillors. After all, you're the ones that approved it.
One of the biggest concerns about this development has always been the environment, the site of special scientific interest. Well, we now all know that a minimum of 40% of that has been destroyed. It has also been noted that the site from the south end of the site of special scientific interest to the northern boundaries of the Balmedie Country Park were previously identified as a site of interest to natural sciences, a SINS. Now, by approving the original planning permission, you sacrificed the SSSI. By approving the second golf course, you're now going to sacrifice the SINS as well. You're then going to top that up with 550 houses, the sewage load that the Balmedie sewage works is just not fit for, and the school load that the school isn't capable of taking. So where is all the infrastructure going to come from? Oh, the applicant will pay for it, we hear. Yeah, we've heard that before, and I've seen no evidence of it to date. Don't forget, he was also given the opportunity to pay for a grade separated junction at the early days when the AWPR was first designed and mooted. He refused. Now you're talking about that being a requirement again. Do you really think that's likely to happen after the cynical habit of waiting until the AWPR was completed before this application was submitted properly? I think you'd be very lucky if anything of that nature ever happens. When you add in the 1,650 houses, you're adding 3,000 cars a day coming and going from Balmedie. Was that ever part of the plan? I know you're trying to get that into the local development plan, the same way as Aberdeenshire Council tried to remove the planning conditions on this development by putting it into the local development plan last time round. You were corrected by the Scottish Government, who enforced it going back in, even if it didn't look as if the amendments actually made it into the published document, which has been noted and commented on at the stage just past. It's now up to you to do the right thing. With the climate strikes that took place on Friday right across the globe, it shows that now is the time for you to do something about the environment, and that doesn't mean you do it with a bulldozer. It is worth remembering, there is an old phrase, that we do not inherit this land from our ancestors. We borrow it from our descendants. And the destruction of this landscape, if you go ahead with this, will be your legacy to the future.